how does this imagination tie to the purpose idea? The idea of finding your purpose, these sorts of things. Well, I mean, if you can't imagine what's greater than what you have right now, then the idea of finding some sort of purpose, living some sort of purpose, makes no sense. I talked about it last time. If you're someone that just sits on the couch all day, watches TV, doesn't do anything really with their life that can even have any meaning, then naturally the finding your purpose is just out the window. That just doesn't make any sense for someone like that. But I mean, you're all sitting in this room, so clearly you're having a bigger picture for things, and you know, going into the idea of finding your purpose versus living purposely, two completely different things. One being fixated on an end goal, the other fixated on the journey of your life. So when you're thinking that when you find your purpose, all your problems are going to be solved, I mean, that's clearly the illusion in which you're creating for yourself. Rather, living with purpose, so each and everything, and really all it means is you're living to the highest potential in each and every moment. Every single thing you do, rather, even if you're sweeping the floors or performing in front of a group of people or building a business, it doesn't really matter. It's you're doing it with complete 100% presence and focus into what you're doing. So naturally, if you're doing every single thing like this, all the time, no matter what you're doing, naturally, the alignment will just happen. The things in which that are not giving you that feeling of purpose will just kind of dissipate away. That job that you hate, that you can't stand, that you're working at, will naturally just go away. Because they can't stay there. You know, if we were to always think about, you know, the concept of, I found my purpose today, this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life, I mean, it would just seem like there's no point in life anymore. You know, when you look at someone like maybe Michael Jordan or something, hey, at 15 years old, the chances of him saying that, you know, basketball is my 100% lifelong purpose, and this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and I'm going to become the best basketball player of all time, you know, the chances of him completely sinking into that at 15 years old were quite slim. Maybe. But, you know, the next day when he's missing all those shots and he's not having so much fun and things aren't going so well, naturally he's probably not feeling like it's so much of a purpose for him. So, you know, when you think of things from that greater picture, and you see that on the bad days I don't feel like I have a purpose, and on the good days I have a purpose, then really, is it even having anything to do with that external thing? It seems like being an athlete, or being a carpenter, or being a businessman really doesn't make a difference. It's actually what's happening here that's making the difference if you feel like you have some sort of purpose, or some sort of goal for your life. And I mean, really, when you look at all of these great people, it all comes to the same thing. Service to others, helping others, teaching others, all of them. I mean, naturally, they had to go through like an experience of success and a lifelong process, but they all come to that same place. They're all living in accordance with a few varying types of principles, and they're all living at some point where they want to give back, they want to give out, they want to help other people. So when you think about that, all you're really seeing is that there's something happening in all of us that's exactly the same, some sort of process, but the individual vehicle in which you choose, that's the difference. But in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter too much. So thinking that you're going to go find the external thing that's going to give you that sense of purpose, this is the illusion in which we all have created at some point in our lives. But if we just switch it, and we think about, okay, even if I have a terrible job right now, I have the worst spouse in the world, I have all the friends that I can't stand, if I can just switch it up, every one of them I'll view in a positive light, my job I'll work more purposely, and all these things I will change my perspective on them, then naturally the things that are really not supposed to be there will flow away, and the things that are supposed to be there will come in. And you see this in your life as you go through cycles. You know, you lose some friends and you find some new ones, and you lose a job and you find a new one, as you're going through that progress. But to say that, you know, whatever you're doing right now, this job, this is your ultimate purpose, is once again the illusion that we're creating. So it may have not have been the complete answer in what you wanted to hear, you know, but really it always comes back to that place where the external is not giving you what you want, and you continuously prove this to yourself. So it's time to look elsewhere. And naturally, when that happens, you know, like I said, everything on the external will come into that alignment. Because everything, you know, we've ever talked about here, and a lot of things you may be seeing, especially from your own perspective doing meditation, is that every single thing on the external is your mirror. A consistent mirror image of yourself. So the job you do not like, the people you do not like, the things that you're consumed with in your life that you're starting to really not enjoy, then maybe this is something that you need to look at here rather than out there. So I mean, firstly, imagination broadening. Secondly, living with purpose rather than finding that end goal of a purpose. Because, naturally that's not going to solve all of our problems. It may help a little bit, but it's not. So in this meditation that we're going to go into, an exercise to help kind of broaden our imagination. Because naturally, if you aren't using your imagination on the regular, you're not being creative, you're really fixated in the left brain, left side, then really you don't have enough practice to really expand that imagination for what you think your reality is. So in the beginning of this meditation, I'm going to get you to visualize. And once again, when I say visualization, if you haven't visualized before, the chances of you actually being able to see things quite slim, maybe. But it's not to get frustrated on that fact, because that really doesn't even matter. It's the feeling. Okay? So when we visualize it, I'm going to get you to visualize kind of like a bubble. A bubble in which you're in, and this is the reality you're in right now. These are the people that are in my life, these are the skill sets I have, this is the job I'm living, these are the things that I have in my complete reality. But what we're going to do is try to expand that. So a visualization of expanding, breaking those limitations, viewing all of the things in which you feel like you desire, whatever that is to you, viewing it as it's in this bubble now. It's continuously in this bubble and it's continuously expanded. What may happen? Fears, doubts. Why am I doing this? This is impossible. I can't see this. It's going to continuously come in your mind. But expanding that bubble and pushing through that, and basically engulfing all of those fears within it, is what you need to kind of, feel like you're doing. Once again, it doesn't need to be an actual visualization where you see everything. Okay? So we're going to get in the most comfortable position.